Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video I'm going to be going over the update 33.0 and just basically going over the main things that are going to be introduced with 33.0. I did this on my live stream, in quite an extended live stream, but I will do this in just a quick wrap up basically. Obviously the big thing is we are going to have Limit Break 3 implemented into the game, and as you can see I'm on the beta region right now, and you can see all the characters are Limit Break 3. They've got the 5 and the 3 stars underneath, and every character that comes into the game after the update will be able to be put up to Limit Break 3. Any character that already is in the game can be put up to Limit Break 3. I've already gone over all of the Limit Break 3s of every single character in the Ascendance Tower, and the characters I've been previewing since that. I have managed to be able to get the Limit Break 3 preview as well. If you want to check out those previews, you should see a pop-up right now in the top right hand corner. There is giveaways in those videos, and I will try and highlight this a couple of times before the end date, but the draw date of those giveaways is the 23rd of December, so if you want to enter, make sure you enter by then. So that's like the really big major update is going to be Limit Break 3, with every character getting a 5th possible character copy able to be used to upgrade them to fully maxed. The other major update, of course, is to Challenge Run. If you complete Challenge Run, and some people will be close to completing Challenge Run as it stands, because stage 240 is the max of Challenge Run, which you might be able to complete by this upcoming Sunday on every single trait or one particular trait. It doesn't matter whether you do it on every single trait or a particular one, it will unlock Tournament Run of that particular trait that you complete. So for instance, right now you can see on the screen, I've unlocked Tournament Run for every single trait in the beta region. You only had to complete 2 stages to complete Challenge Run, fortunately. And you can see it is signified by having a chain across the top and it changing the name. For instance, the alert one is now called the Deadlands, the strong one is now called Field of Agony, the fast one is called Dust to Dust, and the tough one is called Silent Swamps. I guess this is basically effectively the location in which the tournament runs are taking place. You can see the Deadlands has the diamond. Basically, if we go into the art, you can sort of see the backgrounds of each of these characters. Looks like the areas in which these tournament runs are going to take place. Kind of interesting indeed. When it comes to how this works, it works quite a lot like arenas. I'll click on the leaderboard for alert, and you can see it works a lot like arenas. You can't really see it here. I'll try and put in a screenshot from when I went over it in beta on my live stream. You can see that there's different tiers, and it is percentage based on the leader score. This means that basically it's going to be a forever and everyone competes against everyone, which would make sense. Obviously, everyone competing against everyone, rather than it being like divisional, and you're always going to receive rewards because it's percentage based. You know, you've got like, I think it was first, second, or I think it was maybe first, second to third, and then it was like top 25%, top 50%, and then top like 100%, and so on and so forth. And that may change over time, but that's a good way of doing things. And it does look like everyone is going to be rewarded some of this currency. This currency is the challenge token, and then this challenge token can be used in the challenge store in the grey market. There isn't much there at the moment. Right now you can just exchange it for coins, just for beta testing. They're giving you coins for rewarding you coins for beta testing, but overall it's basically a tournament of that trait. And one of the biggest issues I had when I was looking at it on my live stream was if I just start the alert one here, if I compete against other people and let's say they unlock the tournament run in, let's say, a month's time, am I going to be stages ahead of them? Are they going to have easier stages than me to compete against? But after the first time I competed, I've gone back to stage 1. So it looks like it's only 5 stages, and these may change on a daily basis. And you're using energy, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, to do this. You get a grand total of 5 stages that you can complete. As you see in the bottom right hand corner, it says 1 out of 5 stages so far that I'm on, and you get a possible 8 runs with the energy that you get for free on a daily basis. So if I start stage 1 right now on this region I have done stages on previously, you can see the enemy team that I'm going to be facing, and then what I'll do is I'll switch to a different beta region to see what the first stage I'm facing is as well. And as you can see, with a different region, I am facing exactly the same team. So competitively, it looks a bit better than I expected it to look where everyone's going to be facing potentially the same 5 stages per day. Based on how you do on those stages determines your score, as it's based on the damage you take. So things like control characters or characters that could potentially put up guardian shields, if I managed to hit a crit, thank you very much Cal, could stop you from taking damage and, you know, increase your score effectively. It is going to be like golf, where the lowest score is the best score, because obviously the more score you have is basically the more damage you've taken. Now right now in the challenge shop there is the coins. This is what you're going to be able to pick up with those challenge tokens, but in the future different things will pop up in here. It could potentially be gold mythic characters, for instance the challenge run characters I would expect to be able to get with the challenge run tokens, whether it be in the challenge shop here or elsewhere. And I would expect to get other things, you know, like gear trainers and of course gear medals as well, because we did seem to get a lot of gear medals from running challenge run buff previously. You know, we got the steel, the bronze and the silver. It's unclear how the gold ones are going to be distributed, but historically they've always given out the top end rewards when it comes to the gear medals in war. Except with the silver ones, they did start to give out in challenge run near the end of challenge run. So we'll have to wait and see. Basically, they could potentially have gold ones in here. They could have platinum mods in here. We don't know. We'll have to wait until that goes fully live. But this is generally going to have like different varying rewards, just kind of like another depot, like the supply depot and so on and so forth. Now, the only problem I see with tournament run in general, of course, is that you don't have much room for failure like you do in challenge run, where you could potentially do the same stage over and over again. And we know how much RNG is involved in challenge run and conquest. You could basically have to restart a stage just to get that stun to proc because of the ridiculously high levels of mods that the enemies have, you know, just to get that first turn stun to actually hit, and then that's going to basically be your win. So at the end of the day, you can't do that now, because you can only effectively lose 3 stages and then you're on all or nothing, because you only get enough to do 8 stages. You only get enough daily energy to do 8 stages. So that is obviously a big downside, but that is kind of the way it is. Hopefully over time we do get better characters in certain traits, particularly alert and fast to a certain extent as well. I think over time, once people start getting their hands on characters like Pamela and Jia Feng and Mr. Lu, taking out stages will be a bit easier, because you can just make a tankier attack team and have Kapoor in there as well, so it won't be too bad. But yeah, I think initially it's going to be tough, but if you are doing tournament run from the get-go, because you've completed all the challenge run, you should get a little bit of an advantage where you're just going to start getting rewards where other people are not going to be getting rewards. But because it's percentage based, you could effectively come like 10th place but still be in like the top 50%, just because there won't be a lot of people doing tournament run. There is a high potential of that. So that's just a quick look at the beta update, the basics of the main things that are on the way. Limit Break 3 and tournament run, they should be in game once the beta update goes fully live and becomes a live state. Generally happens within 7 to 10 days of beta, so I would assume it should happen before Christmas. Would make sense to get done and dusted out the way before Christmas. But Scopely should confirm the exact times and dates with a update on their blog, so stay tuned for that, and I'll no doubt be talking about on my live streams over the next week or so. But that is the end of my video, guys. Hopefully this has been a nice little look into what's to come with update 33.0. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.